everyone. Scrappy Kathy here with a fast track to mixed media video for Mixed Media Frenzy. And because I'm in a frenzy in all other areas of my life, I'm choosing to do a quick and easy approach to things. And of course, I'm starting with a Vicky Boutin pre-done mixed media background. Okay, first of all, this is the sketch that we're all working from this week on Mixed Media Frenzy. And I've got a small photo. This was a photo of me on one of my earliest business trips 50 some odd years ago. And I grew up in South Louisiana on the Gulf of Mexico, and this was up in Calgary. And it was February, probably this time, like around end of January, 1st of February, and it was 30 below zero. And I bought this hat, and there was a matching purse, and I had my purple leather jacket and about 42 sweaters on underneath, and some long underwear underneath my jeans there. So, and I saw a challenge. I don't remember where it was, and it was long ago, so it's not an active challenge, but something that asked you to do a page about what you would say to your 20-year-old self. And this was, I was 20-something, probably 23, 24 at the time here. And so I found something in a set of stamps by Dyan Reavely that's going to kind of form the title and the journaling all in one on this page. And it basically says, if it doesn't make you feel fabulous, don't do it, don't buy it, don't keep it. And that's probably the best advice I'd give my 20-year-old self. So my 20-something-year-old self. So let's see how this is going to come together. I'll show you the things I love about the sketch, and we'll see how I come anywhere close to making that happen. Okay, first of all, this is the page as Vicky Boutin did it. Instead of the different colors of aqua here, there are different colors of pink. There's a kind of a black blotch here, a gray blotch there, something going on there, and some stuff going down here. So I'm going to use this stencil to add some of those elements in. I'm going to use this shimmer spray black marble Dilutions ink, both for splatters and maybe for something to do with the stencil. I've got some heavy gesso, black gesso by Finnabair Art Basics. Never used it before. The package hasn't been opened, so I have to actually pull the tape off. I've used the clear gesso from this set. I got clear, white, and black, and I love the texture. It's kind of like texture paste. I've got one of the things that I notice here that I really love in the sketch is this kind of texty stuff here and here. And then there's this thing on the side, and it's actually upside down text. So I'm actually going to use this stamp that has text and flowers. I'm going to use it upside down over here in the corner, and I'm going to use it right side up in these two spots, but with an ink that doesn't really, it's not going to be black. It's not going to really show a lot. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Here, let me kind of get this wet. I'm going to use the two different sides of it and just kind of lick it on the page, if you will. I envision my journaling being stamped kind of right there where it doesn't get too involved in these gold splats that Vicky has done. So I want it to be somewhere right there. So I'm thinking that I will do this kind of right here. Okay, and this one kind of right there. And yes, it's right where my journaling is going to go, but I've kind of got some of it on the white, some of it on the pink. I love it. Let me do it. Let me clean that color ink off. And I'll ink it in black and do it upside down, kind of over here in the corner. There's a circle in the original, this circle and a little banner. Not gonna do that, but I've got this kind of circly flower, and I'm gonna ink that part up. There, and turn it upside down. I'm gonna go off the page, so I want something to kind of catch it. Let me see if that works. Okay. It managed to pick up that there. In the original, there's really nothing up here, but I'm going to say that I might need a little something up there just for the hell of it. And you know, I didn't protect my mat there. Okay, so I've got that there, and this one here, one's sideways, the other one's upside down. And I may add a banner. This one's not intended to be a paper heavy layout. I've pulled some scraps from a Vicky Boutin Wildflower and Honey 6x8 tablets, so I guess I could make some banners from that. Let me see if I can find anything that approximates that pink. And this may be the wrong pad, but I do have this. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I come up with. Okay, I'm going to now do the photo's gonna go right here. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my journaling slash, title kind of right there. Okay, let me ink it up with black, and then I'll do some of the big splats later. I've got a little bit of twine and some washi tape, but let me get this where I want it here. Okay, there we go. And my backup plan always, if I'm stamping directly onto a layout, is to, if it messes up, and this didn't, it actually came out quite nice, but if it had messed up, I would just use my MISTI and stamp it on white cardstock, fussy cut around it, and then put it on. Cover it up. Cover up the mess. So there's no such thing as a mess that's that's impossible to clean up. Okay, I kind of like this thing going down here, and I could make, I've got this kind of a blotch right here in this this guy that could, it goes up, and then I could have one coming down, and maybe I would use this one to do the coming down. So I'll put this one right here, And I'm going to, I could just pounce some ink on it, but I want to try this black gesso, and I think it's going to add some opacity, if you will, to the image. And I know some of this is going to show on the other side of the photo. This doesn't seem quite as heavy as the clear gesso that I used. Okay, that works out fine. I'm going to use, well, I'm going to wait till that one, get that one a little bit cleaned off. Actually, no, I'm not going to worry about that. I've got a little bit of a, there's a need for something over here. This has got some square edges, so I'm going to maybe do this here, and I'm going to try to keep that upper one off the paper, but realizing that this is mixed media, it's not going to worry me a whole lot if I get a bit of a smudge there. Let me kind of brush that across there. Okay, that is good. Let me do this one again, kind of trying to shield. Let me see where my photo's gonna go. It's gonna go kind of right there. And so I need this about here. And I'm going to kind of let it splay off different ways. I'd say this is maybe one of my most used stencils. And you can kind of see that by all the different colors of ink that are still on it. And it's a stencil of some messy ink splotches. So you almost can't I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to maybe just kind of pull. I don't want it to look like a carbon copy of anything I've done anywhere else on the page. Okay, that's going to work. The gesso should clean up fairly well with water, but I want to wipe it with baby wipe to get the thicker stuff off. And I've used this, this was a tray that contained cookies that someone gave us as when they came to lunch at Christmas time, I want to say 10 years ago. And I've used it for a million things, mostly to hold small embellishments during challenges like Calvin Ball, where I'm using repetitive elements. I'm going to put that aside because I don't expect the rest of this to take me too terribly much longer, but my hands are a bit of a mess. So I've done mixed media hands here. So let me pull that off. My verdict is I love that gesso. So let me glue the photo on here. The gesso's wet. And so things like my twine, let's see, I've got black twine and pink twine. This pink twine looks like it's the wrong pink, and I've got a lot of black. So let me use the black. There's a bit of it over kind of, let's see, I'm gonna put a bit of, whoops, liquid adhesive. That's a pink heart. I really don't want it to be this evenly kind of lasso type look. I want it to be kind of scrunched up like this, and then kind of stuck in there and glued into place. And of course I'm working with wet gesso kind of in the area, so I'm going to have to kind of tuck it under like this, and I'm okay with that little blob of glue there because it's, gosh, I've got a couple, where did those come from? I may want to use those on the page, actually. Okay, I've got washi tape here. They've used a single diagonal stripe washi tape, and my diagonal stripe washi is thin, so I thought I'd use a double. One is this kind of graphic pattern, and on theirs it kind of goes in crooked, and so mine will probably naturally do that. Let me use this to kind of tuck that down and under there, and now I'm going to lift this up and make it shorter and tear it more convincingly. Okay, do you ever have a problem when you're trying to get that really nice torn look of washi tape and your washi just kind of tears all, you know, like neatly and stuff? Okay, so I'm going to go with this. I'm going to, again, tuck it under the photo, but kind of overlapping that. Okay, I'm good with that. Again, I'm not worrying too much about getting stuff over the, on the layout. I'm going to go here with a kind of a small bit of twine kind of up in here, and I will let it somewhat overlap the photo. I kind of like that look, and it did it anyway, so that's okay by me. The one thing I'm seeing here that I wish, now I had in mind doing a banner, and I think I'm going to leave the banner off. I may do a bit of washi here with one of the washi tapes that I used. Might add another bit down there and kind of roll that over. Let me use this up here. And then I'll use a small bit of this one so they're not mirror images of one another, and I get a little bit different look. Okay. I think this is finished. I'm happy with it. It's appropriately messy and frenzied looking, but I basically used something that was pre-made, added some stamping and some stenciling and some washi, and a photo and an introspective kind of piece of advice. So, project completed. My mixed media frenzy is over. Thank you so much for watching.